Namaskar. Good morning, dear devotees and friends. Today is the first Saturday of the month, and as usual, we are supposed to give the class in the Hindu temple of Lemont in Vivekananda Spiritual Center. But as because we are still having these online classes, I will be speaking from here itself. So, you are welcome to Narada Bhakti Sutras. So, let us begin. Yasya smarana matrena janma samsara bandhanat vimuchyate namastashmai Vishnave Prabha Vishnave. I bow down to Lord Vishnu, the great God, whose mere remembrance makes one free from the bondage of birth and death. Now friends, we are studying the Narada Bhakti Sutra, a very famous scripture of the Hindu and particularly those who follow the path of devotion. And here we find in the Narada Bhakti Sutra that he is emphasizing on the bhakti, and we have studied that Narada himself has quoted so many different definitions of the bhakti or devotion. The Shandilya and others, they are speaking about bhakti, but the Narada, he said that tad arpita akhila acharata tad vishmarane paramo vyakulata iti. Very simple, because it is aphorism. So, in a very small and a few words only they have used, but a great idea Narada is giving to us. What is devotion? Tad. Tad means that God, and we always talk about the Lord Vishnu. Why the Vishnu? Because all pervading God. If it is all pervading, how it can be the God? For our sake. It is not having any form, but without the name and form, we cannot think of anything. So that is the reason the Vishnu, the rishis, and particularly the Brahma, the firstborn, he gave that conception of Lord Vishnu, who is all pervading. Vistareti Vishnuhu, he is everywhere, constantly the increasing, that is Vishnu. So that conception, it is very difficult, it is an abstract conception, so we won't be able to concentrate on that. So they have given a name and a form, that is Lord Vishnu. And when we are remembering that Lord Vishnu, the smallness, the narrowness, that is breaking. And when we are breaking the narrowness, smallness, our ego is also vanishing. And what remains? The God himself. So that is exactly, now Narada is suggesting tad arpita akhila acharata. We cannot give up the work, our duties, our responsibilities. So obviously, we will perform all those and then offer it to God, as if we are doing because God has asked us to do or give the responsibility to perform. So we are performing. In that attitude, if we are doing, and whatever we are doing, any work that is not harming others, that is a holy work. So we are doing some work, and then that work, particularly most of the job, most of the responsibilities, work that we do in our human society is helping each other. A cultivator, he is producing the grains, and that is, and another person is taking that and selling it in the market, and then we are purchasing that and we are eating. So the circle is going on like that, and we are purchasing, we are giving the money. So the person who was carrying that food gets the money, then he gives it to the cultivator, and then it is this way it goes. So we can understand the whole work, the economy and the sociology and the administration, everything goes on that, and no question of harming. But still we do harm. Why? Because we are greedy. When we become greedy, we like to get more thing for ourselves, only for our pleasure. Then when the greed possesses us, then we become bad. The majority of the people, they are free from that greed. A little bit of desires are there, but if that is nothing. You can satisfy and you can be free. So that is the way. If we think, the life becomes really very easy. We make mistakes, but we don't commit sin. But some of the people are there, knowingly they are harming others. We are not discussing about them. They are not in this. So who are the devotees? Who are performing their duties and at the same time have faith that there is God, and they pray to God. That is. For them, the Naradas giving this devotion, because the love is already there within us. So we are giving that love to God. And how? Not forgetting Him any time. Whatever the responsibilities, the work that we do in the offices, in the market, in our household, everything that we are offering to God. And then we are constantly aware about God. That is the main thing. And the moment, and not only aware, we love Him so much. The moment we forget to remember Him, that we feel pain. Oh, why? How could I forget this? So Naradastu tad arpita akhila acharata. Tad, to God, arpita, offering, akhila acharata, all the work that we do, tad vishmarane paramo vyakulata. And when we forget, we really feel pain. So that is the definition. That means not only the faith that God is there, but also the love for God has generated within us. This is the thing. Now we will go to, then he is giving the example. And yatha broja gopikanam. Braja, that's the Braja Dham, Vrindavan is there. And if you go to India, those who are from India, they can understand that in UP, Uttar Pradesh, one of the states of India, there is a place called Braja Dhama. Dhama means the place. And who's Braja? Who are the Braja? That was the people they used to live over there, and we all respect them. Why? Because they lived with Lord Krishna. We love them. We visit that place. Why? Because Lord Krishna was born over there. That same Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, took the form of Lord Krishna, and the Krishna was born over there, grew up over there, and he displayed his Leela, the divine play, over there to establish religion. So this is the reason. And there, the ladies of that place, they were having great devotion for the Lord Krishna. When he was almost a small little baby, we can say, they used to come to him, they used to get joy, and then he became a young boy, and all those stories are there. But their love was so intense, they never could forget that Krishna. So the Narada is giving the example of the Gopikas. Who are the Gopikas? They were the girls and the wives and the mothers of that household, and they had a lot of work. Mostly they used to milk the cow and then sell that, and preparing the sweetmeats, and so many work. And then the maintaining the cows is a big job. You have to get the grasses and wash the cows. So those who are working, they know. Constantly you have to work, but at the same time, constantly they used to remember Krishna. And they were so eager, when the work will be over, we like to go and see the Krishna. We like to listen to his flute. The beautiful melodiously he used to play the flute, and they will go, they will listen, and they will go into trances. There's no physical connection, nothing. They never, but wrongly some people are depicting that is completely different. That's why Bhagavat and particularly the Krishna Leela should be read when your heart, when your mind is completely free, when there is no idea of the physical, the comforts and all that. So that is why here the Narada, the purest person, he is giving the example Yatha Braja Gopikanam in the 21 the aphorism. Braja Gopi, like the Braja Gopikas. And what is the Braja Gopikas? Here, the Braja Gopikas' love is the example. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, will quote from him. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna says, as the tiger devours our animals, so the intense love of the gopis, their zeal for the Lord Krishna, ate up lust, anger and other passions. So that is why the Narada is giving the example of the Gopikas. It is like they were not having any other thing but pure love for Krishna. They were not expecting anything from Krishna also. Oh, I am having some pain. Oh, Krishna, you are having miraculous power. Please cure me. Or I am having some problem. Please solve that. Nothing like that. I don't want anything from you. I only love you. So that is the Gopikas. This is a great example. Unfortunately, majority of the people, they bring down that Gopikas' love to the worldly love. No, they should not be compared. They will be depicting the imaginary pictures and no. That is all wrong thing. So that love means I and my God are one. And who is this God? All pervading consciousness, which has been by the rishis, they mention the Anandaiva. Ananda-eva, he is the embodiment of joy, the bliss, that much. And he goes into that joy. This Braja Gopika and Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna in a very excellent way, as the tiger is eating all the animals, so the love, the pure love for God in the heart of those humble ladies of the Vrindavan, that has taken their, eaten up, clean up their lust, their anger and passion. The anger means when there is ego, why I am not getting, so it becomes anger. When I don't get the object that I was hankering, then if I don't get that, I become angry. So the anger is not there. There is no desire, no question of expecting anything in return. So no anger. And Swami Vivekananda, he is the devotion of the gopis is the devotion of love, constant, unmixed and unflinching. Swami Vivekananda wrote, Gopi Leela is the acme of the religion of love. Is the highest, the topmost. That is the example of the love. Love for God. It is so easy to say because we have love, we can understand what is love. We are always hankering for that, we can understand that. But when they say love for God, is completely different. And how we will understand that? Example is the love of the gopis for Krishna. So Swami Vivekananda also, the disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, he is mentioning, Gopi Leela is the acme of the religion of love, in which individuality vanishes and there is communion. Individuality vanishes. When I still feel that I am separate, there is a desire, there is anger, there is something, but when I and you are one, that becomes like that, then there is nothing but the joy. So the Rasa Leela, there are different aspects that has been developed by the people of devotion. so that the ordinary people can understand it. The Rasa Leela is one of that. Apparently it is just like a man and the woman, they are enjoying, they are dancing, they are singing, nothing like that. It is the individual soul, the devoted soul is going to the Supreme Soul. And when ultimately they are removing all the obstacles, the individual soul, the Jivatma, is going and mixing with the Supreme Soul, the Paramatma. That is the great joy. So then they are enjoying only that joy. Because the Swami Vivekananda said, is the acme of the religion of love in which individuality vanishes. We have to understand this particular word. There is no ego. What is the individuality? Ego. I consciousness. That is not there. Then what remains? Only God. When I am meditating, a yogi, he is thinking, I am meditating. I is there. Individuality is there. Separateness is there. Difference is there. Meditating on God, the object is there. It is a different thing. I love God. I have faith in the existence of God. But at the same time, I is there. As long as I is there, it is not the complete. Even in the yoga. In the jnana also the same. In the path of devotion, in the path of bhakti, then the Narada says, no, it should not be. I and my God are the same. When that comes in the life of Swami Vivekananda also, we saw in some of the incidents, they will be offering food to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. We should not follow Swami Vivekananda. Because Swami Vivekananda, he was in that mood. As his guru, Sri Ramakrishna, when he used to offer the food to Goddess Kali, then sometimes he will be asking, as if talking with the mother. No one could see. So they used to doubt, some people, they used to doubt. But Sri Ramakrishna could see, Sri Ramakrishna could hear, and there is no difference. And Sri Ramakrishna, Mother, you want me to eat it? Okay, then he will eat. And that food he is offering to the mother. Can you imagine? No one can imagine this. Whenever we are offering food to God, we are so cautious, so that we should not touch it, we should not do this way. Sri Ramakrishna. And Swami Vivekananda, sometimes he used to sit for doing the puja, and his puja was a very unique. He will be offering the food, all the sweets and the fruits and the water, and then he will meditate. Then after the meditation, he will take all the flowers and then throw and ask the Sri Ramakrishna that Khalo, as if he is his friend. So here just same, so he is asking. The Khalo dost, he used to call Sri Ramakrishna as his dost, as his friend. Khalo dost, bas ho gaya. But that is sufficient for puja. So he is meditating and he is becoming one with Sri Ramakrishna. There is no separation. Then he himself is asking, Khalo dost, you are my closest friend. So one approach the love and the beloved, lover and the beloved, another as a friend. So there are 5 different paths that leads to God. So Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda, we find that supreme love. The both of them, the example of the Vedanta, but at the same time of the devotion too. Now we will read the 22nd aphorism. Na tatra api mahatma jnana vismritapya apavada. Na tatra api mahatma jnana. Now Swami Vivekananda, he is asking Sri Ramakrishna, the dost khalo, dost means the friend. Can we do that? No, because we don't have that attitude. We don't have that way the thought. There is no separation. when he is telling dost, but at the same time is a great respect is there. A mind is so high and mixing with Sri Ramakrishna, that is one. And when he is coming down and becoming a separate, that time he is the disciple and he is the guru, and not only guru, he is the God himself. That respect is there. So when we love, afterwards we forget that he is a great person. He is God himself. That should not be. This is the problem that comes to those who are doing services, living very close affinity, close association with a great person. They see the person regularly every time, and they start thinking, oh, he's nothing special, he's ordinary. They develop that attitude and they lose all the benefit of spiritual the gain. It happens in the life of one who was very close to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. He was his relatives, one of the nephews. Then he was there, he used to serve him, and slowly he developed this wrong attitude. He started neglecting Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Not only that, he started thinking, because I am here, Sri Ramakrishna is surviving, otherwise who will give him food? Who will take care of him? He is nothing without me. And the Divine Mother removed him. You know that story. So that is the way we have to understand here. Narada, when he is telling that Gopikas, and Gopikas were so close to Krishna, but don't think they were not knowing the greatness of Krishna. They used to quarrel with Krishna, they will be fighting with Krishna, they will be complaining against Krishna. All they used to do, but they never ever forgot that Krishna was the God himself. So, not tatrapi mahatma jnana, the greatness, the knowledge of the greatness, they never forgot it. So, that is very, very important. Though you are the son of Yashoda, but thou art the innermost self in all being. So that they used to always think that though you are the son of Yashoda, that they will be going to Yashoda and complaining, because Krishna, as a young boy, he was very naughty, he used to play with them, and he will be making sometimes that they will be angry, as if angry, they will go and complain to the mother, but they all knew that he is the God himself, because their hearts were pure. How could they do it? How could they feel it? Because their hearts were pure. What is the purity? There is no ego. When there is no ego, that is the purity. So they knew it, that Krishna was the God, or the Supreme. Tad bihinam jaranam eva. Now, the Narada is mentioning, suppose there is no respect for your beloved, the God himself. If you don't have that respect, full respect as God, then that love will be like any ordinary love the human being, the people they have. They will be loving, at the same time they will be quarreling, they will go for the separation, and sometimes some of the news is that is published in the nowadays local paper, my God, they are planning to kill the husband to go for the paramour. Can you imagine? Is this love? So it is a jaranam eva. Otherwise, their love would have been the passion only. The majority of the times that we see, it is nothing but the passion. When the body is changing, the mind also changes, then we feel attraction and we think, oh, this is the love that we are having. And the word love is used to so many millions of times, in so many ways, in the stories, in the poems, in the songs. But we don't know what is love. The love is pure. And how that is purity? We will come slowly. The Narada is mentioning that if the respect is not there, so that's why When sometimes the newly married couples, they come to me for the blessings, I pray to Thakur Ma, and I always tell them, have respect for each other. If you don't have respect for each other, the husband should have respect for the wife and wife for the husband, their love cannot continue. Because if you don't have the faith, the respect of some of the activities of your wife, you cannot continue to love her. All the attraction, it goes away. And same with the opposite way also, wife to husband. And I give the example of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Look at it. He married Ma Sharadamani Devi. And Ma Sharadamani Devi was almost 20 years younger than Thakur Sri Ramakrishna. Even then, when the Ma was in the Dakshineshwar, and one lady from the nearby village, she used to come and she used to talk with mother, and mother used to listen to her compassionately and sometimes giving her some advices. Sri Ramakrishna noticed it from distance. Then one day he told mother, perhaps you don't know that lady. She is having some bad name. Mother told, no, I know. But that was long before. Now she is not. She is very elderly and she is all right. But Sri Ramakrishna, the Lord himself, he then asked mother. So these are from the life when we learn. So how it is? Sri Ramakrishna asking mother, you should not talk to her anymore. That means an order from the God. But though mother was so respectful, but she didn't listen to these, and she continued to listen to that, and the relation with that lady. Relation means she used to come, she used to cry, and mother used to console her in that way. Then afterwards, she herself told, if these people who are in that condition wants to get up, and we are here to help them. If we don't do, then who will do? Sri Ramakrishna understood that. Next day when he observed, that the same mother is continuing, Sri Ramakrishna never became angry or asked her, since I have said you must obey. No, she didn't say that. Why? Immediately he understood there must be some reason. That's why the mother is behaving like that. What is the reason? Mother's love, mother's compassion to help those wretched souls. And she wants to get up, she wants to be clean. The mother was helping from that point of view. So that is the way we have to understand. It is the respect should be always there. Love is there, respect should be there. The complete faith, then the love and the respect. That is the total, the thing of the love. So this we are learning from Narada Bhakti Sutra. On the 24th aphorism it says, Nasteva tasmin stat sukha sukhitvam na asti eva nasteva. There is not tasmin, in that love, tat sukha, the happiness of the beloved, sukhitvam. The beloved is happy. That is sufficient. And the lover never cares for his or her love. So this is the difference between the divine love and the ordinary worldly love. The ordinary worldly love, always the expectation is there. I love you, I care for you, the same thing you should also do for me. But in the divine love, nasteva, there is nothing. Tat sukha sukhitvam. You are happy, I am also happy in that. So this we have to understand, tat sukha sukhitvam. The ignorant people sometimes mixed up the pure divine love of the gopis for the Lord Krishna with the baser form of love of this physical world, that is unfortunate. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he mentioned about the different kind of love. This is the speciality of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. He is mentioning Sadharani. Sadharani, then Samanjasa and Samartha is giving the gradation, the grade of the love. What is that he mentions? First is Sadharani. Sadharani means the love in which the lover seeks his own joy, happiness. That is Sadharani. The ordinary people, they always do like that. Though I am loving, naturally, I will expect that same reciprocating in that same way. Otherwise, I am not there. This is Sadharani love. We go to God, but if we are not getting all our prayers fulfilled or answered, then we don't go to that God. We go to some other place and like that. So this is Sadharani. The one gentleman told, I was worshipping for such a long period of time, then see what has happened to me. My husband, my son passed away, my wife passed away. What is this? I don't believe the God is there. This is Sadharani. I am not criticizing, but the mind could not go beyond that. God is there. Where from I got all these things, the worldly things? From God. Now that the God has taken it back, it's okay for me. He could not think in that way. He was very angry. So that way, criticizing God stopped all the spiritual practices like this. You will find almost everywhere. So they don't understand the cause and effect thing, the karma and all the theory. So they always blame to God. So this is called Sadharani. So what type of love? Sadharani. Then Samanjasa, love in which both seek each other's happiness. The one is the lover only expecting his own benefit and his own happiness, his own joy and nothing else. That is Sadharani. Samanjasa, both equally. If not, then there is a breakage. So that is Samanjasa. Then comes the third one. What is the third one? Samartha. The Samartha is a love in highest form. Lover says to the beloved, be happy yourself. Whatever may happen to me, you need not to worry. That is the attitude of Sri Radha. Sri Radha never expected anything from the Lord Krishna. And that also we see in the life of Mirabai. The Mirabai used to love Sri Krishna, but that love, the constant love for Krishna was only for Krishna. The Krishna should, now we read in the Bhagavata sometimes when the Krishna is walking on the field, all these ladies, they are coming and lying down and telling that there are thorns are there, Krishna. It may hurt you. Let us lie down and walk on our bodies. Let the thorn, you can imagine on the thorny grasses they are lying down only to protect the feet of the Lord Krishna. What type of love? This is called Samartha. This Samartha love only gives and never expect anything else in return. So that is the divine love. So when we are talking about the Narada Bhakti Sutra, the Narada is slowly taking us, giving the example of different type of love, because it is so natural with us that we all understand this path. The path of jnana is little difficult, but path of yoga, of course, difficult. Karma also is very difficult to perform all the time, all through the life. But the bhakti is so natural within us. And if we can understand the pure love, that is samartha, the love only to give, not expecting anything else in return, and that is called the divine love, and that takes us directly to God realization. Most of the time, worldly love is nothing but attachment. Attachment changes into hatred when there is some dissatisfaction in that relationship. One of our Swamijis, he is mentioning in his book that the relationship. Now, the marriage is a great institution. Why? Because from that the human society is growing up, and it goes with the father and the mother. If both are not having that love for each other, then the children will also won't grow properly. So that is the reason all the Samajapati, the leaders of the society, they were so careful about the marriage institution. Sometimes some people, they don't understand it, and they talk about in the modernity we are all free, we can do whatever we like. No, you cannot. You are not supposed to. You should be responsible member of a society, and you should be careful what you are giving back to the society. And there they offer the love. And when you are beginning with this love, the love, respect, and then you're going beyond that, the one step another, then ultimately an individual become happy, and at the same time he or she makes the whole society happy. And there will be no breakages in the love. That never happens in the case of divine love. He is writing, because the motive is not one's own joy. In the divine love, this is the difference. When the base love or the worldly love, they either, as the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna gave that, only one way. I only want the joy, I don't care for other thing. Then the both way, then ultimately comes to the third, the Samartha. And here it says, the divine love, only there is no absolute, no selfish motive. In divine love, there is nothing physical. The path of divine love, the attitude of the lover should only be followed by very pure souls. Those who are following the path of devotion, the duality, they think just getting up in the morning, bathing in the Ganga, and putting some marks and going to the temple and taking the name of God and dancing before Him, offering food, and that is showing the love. Not at all. That is only the beginning. Of course, just like the primary school. So we go and we do that. That is only the beginning. But the love, the 24 hours, a constant attraction for God. As the Jnanamargis, 24 hours, they are going on thinking that they are pure soul. Though they are talking, they are moving, they are eating, but constantly, I am the pure soul. And the devotee also thinking that God is there, I have to go to God, I have to worship God, I have to talk to God, and that feeling constantly separate that mind from the worldly thoughts. So the path of love, the attitude of the lover, only be followed by very pure souls. Again and again, I like to mention these, the purity means where there is no worldliness. And when there is no worldliness, when there is no ego, and without ego, there is no desire for the worldly objects, and that is the pure condition of the mind. There are many other attitudes one can have towards God. That is in the path of devotion, they say Shanta, Datsya, Vatsalya, Shakya. There are all other forms are there. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he added another one more, and that is, I like that very much. And Sri Ramakrishna also mentioned, and that is Santana Bhava. Santana Bhava, attitude of a child towards the parents. The father or the mother is there, I am their child, I don't know what to do. The mother and father knows better, So they will take care of me. That is the sixth we can add. But what is the Shanta Bhava? Is a person who has already understood the whole thing of the Leela, so quietly observe and enjoy the performance of the God. He never says anything. That is the Bhava of the Rishis. They are all the man of knowledge. They all knew everything what is going to happen. And in the life of Sri Ramachandra, what the Ramachandra will do, Sita will be abducted by the Ravana, everything they knew. So when the things are happening, they are not disturbed. They know next what is coming. Another is, that's called Shanta. Shanta means peaceful, calm. Then Dasya, the serving. The God is my Lord, Master, I am going to serve. Then Vatsalya, the attitude of the mother. The God is the child and I am the father or the mother and I have to look after the God, otherwise who is going to look after him? That is it. And then comes the Shakya, as Swami Vivekananda called Sri Ramakrishna as his friend. And Arjuna also used to think that Sri Krishna as his friend. That is the Shakya. But the Madhura attitude is really very pure attitude. Madhura means God is my lover and I am the beloved, or I am the lover, God is the beloved. So that attitude is a very pure attitude. Only the pure mind can take up that. And here in the 25th verse it says, aphorism it says, Sa tu karma jnana yogibhya api adhikatara. This Madhura Bhava, this is the attitude of love. Here the Narada, he was the master in yoga. He was a jnani. He was a karmi. We know Narada, constantly roaming and talking to people, inspiring them, guiding them. He was a karmi, constant. But at the same time, same Narada is telling, this love, the love for God, thinking the God as your beloved, so karma jnana yogibhya api adhikatara. In the Bhagavad Gita also, the Sri Krishna, when he is talking about the yoga and he is asking Arjuna, then tasmad yogi bhava Arjuna. Again, when he is talking about the bhakti, he said, become a devotee, bhakta, and you will merge in me. As a jnani, he said, jnana is the best path because it's like the fire, it burns everything. So all the time, that is, it depends on your attitude, our attitude, individual attitude. Narada, he is giving the teaching on the devotion, so he is mentioning, not that other paths are not that way good, but Narada will go on giving some, and why he is mentioning like this. Just as a statement he is giving, not like that, arguments are also there, the answers are also there. Satu karma jnana yogibhya api adhikatara. Now we know the Sanatana Dharma, we are having the 4 ways to reach God. What are the 4 ways? This is the beauty of the Sanatana Dharma, which is known as the Hindu Dharma, the famous as Hindu Dharma. The attitude of a man, the emotion of a person. There's sometimes we analyze, we love to analyze, we love to know. And immediately the rishis told, well, you apply this attitude and follow the path of knowledge. In the path of knowledge, they will be all the time analyzing what is this, what is this, what is this. And what is their goal? Something permanent. Those who are following the path of knowledge, their goal is something which is permanent. So they will go on analyzing, is the sun is permanent? No. Is the ocean is permanent? No. Then these, they will be going on analyzing, including their own body and mind, and ultimately they will reach to that whom they have called as Brahman. What is the Brahman? All pervading consciousness. There is no form, there is actually no name. Then they will be explaining how it is a source of joy, and it is a source of knowledge, and that is because it is eternal, never born. So obviously it is a source of our desire to live, to survive. So that is, they will say, Sat Chit Ananda Sarupa. Then they will mention the Om Iti Brahma. So meditate on Om. Because something is necessary to meditate, so this is the way. But Brahman is completely not different. It is not Om, it is not Satchidananda, it is not the quality of cannot be the quality of the Brahman. What is that Brahma? Then ultimately Swami Vivekananda said, Boje Pran Boje Jar. One who has realized it can understand it. Sri Ramakrishna said, this is the only knowledge no one could defile, because it could not be expressed through words. That is the path of knowledge. In the path of knowledge there is karma. In the path of knowledge there is the yoga, because you have to be concentrated, you have to be always attentive, all that. Now another path is the bhakti, the devotion. In the devotion, what it happens, in that devotion, the goal is the God. And how I am reaching to Him? Through love. How that is love? Then I have that love within me, and I love my father, I love my mother, I love my children, I love my friend. Then the rishis will say, okay, very good. Any attitude, any approach, if you feel, take that and go towards God. So sometimes the mothers, they feel that the God is my son, and they will be taking the baby Krishna, not the grown-up Krishna. And when a son is grown up, he never goes to mother or listen to the mother. They always go in their own way. Not that they don't love or respect, they do. But that is a different, because they are grown up naturally. So the mothers, they always like the babies, baby Krishna. So they will be taking the baby Krishna, the Bala Gopala, they will be bathing that and then feeding, and they will be talking with, and all that affection goes to that God. Isn't it wonderful? Why everybody has to go in the same passion? Why everyone has to put the same coat, whether fit it or not? This is Hinduism. This is Sanatana Dharma. Utilizing any attitude that a human being is having to realize the goal, the God. So here it says, it is better that you take the love. It is better from the karma, jnana, yoga. Why? Because it is natural with you. You like to love. You like to love as a father? Of course you can do. As Sri Ramakrishna said, Amar Shantan Bhav. I always consider myself as a child of God. And as a child of God, what I should do? I only believe that God is there, my father or my mother, and I will do whatever I like. Mother knows when to stop and what I should do. She will take care of me. That only dependence. When you are talking, it seems it is so easy. But if you have the ego, you cannot. Because naturally you are feeling that I am thinking, I am performing, I should have. But a child never think in that way. It's completely depending on the mother. In the life of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, you know that when the Guru came, the Totapuri ji, and told, hey boy, I like to teach you Vedanta, because it has been that ordained to me that I should go and teach you Vedanta. What Sri Ramakrishna did, if you read the biography of Sri Ramakrishna, very unique. Sri Ramakrishna ran to the Kali Mandir. Wait, let me talk to mother. In the beginning, that Guru thought, oh, he's a 32 years young man, but still depending on the mother. Maybe the Bengalis are more depending on the mother. The Bengalis always, they love their mother, depend on their mother than their father. So, okay. But where the Sri Ramakrishna went, it is the Ma Kali. apparently when we look, it is nothing but a stone image. But for Sri Ramakrishna, he could see the living mother. Then talked with the mother. That man has come and he wants to teach me Vedanta, what do you say? Then he came back, just like a little boy, very happy, got the permission of the mother. Mother told, she has sent you for me. Teach you what you want to teach. Can you imagine? So this is the love between the beloved, the God. And that is why here the sa that is using, Narada is using, sa tu karma jnana yogebhya. Sa means that. What is that? That means the love that I talked about, referred about. That sa means the devotion. But devotion is not only a process, it is the goal too. That is the speciality. The devotion is not only the process, it is also the goal. When the jnana margi, they say, this table, no, it is not conscious. My body, no, it is not conscious. Then this, it is not, it is not. Neti, neti, no iti, no iti. They go on talking like that, thinking like that, analyzing like that. They don't accept. But in the path of devotion, iti, iti, everything God, everything God. So they go on accepting, iti, iti. And that path itself is the goal. Because you are thinking, oh God, oh beautiful flower, God has created. And that sky, the blue sky, with white patches of the that also God created. Look at the horizon, the beautiful green grasses going and mixing with that, the blue sky, beautiful horizon God has created. By that way, it goes on thinking, that means everything God, everywhere. Every being, you see the bird, you see the animals, God's creation. So the path itself is the goal. So that is the beauty. Now, in Hinduism, they will be talking about the three things. As Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna mentioned, if you have read that Sri Ramakrishna's biography, you know, in a conversation with the devotees, Sri Ramakrishna said, Bhagavat Bhakta Bhagavan. The Keshav Chandra Sen, when he was giving a talk, in the beginning Sri Ramakrishna told him, oh Keshav, repeat after me. Bhagavat Bhakta Bhagavan. Now what is that Bhagavat? Bhagavat is that book or the knowledge or the love. That is the process. And who is utilizing that process? Bhakta, the student, devotee, the aspirant. And what is the goal? Bhagavan. When a devotee, by practicing the devotion, go and merge it with the Lord, and that is the ultimate. It's called Triputi Veda. But in the path of devotion, they don't use this word Triputi Veda. In the path of knowledge, it is Triputi Veda. And the Lord Shiva is known as Tripurari. In one go, he pierced the three demons. That's called Triputi. But actually, it is a story. What are the Triputi Veda? In the path of knowledge, it will say the jnana, that is the knower, then the knowledge, then the Brahman is the goal. Jnana, Jnana. And that is the way it goes. The Triputi Veda means there is one who wants to know, and object that he wants to know, and the process in between, the knower and the known. When the knower and the known through that process become one, that is called Triputi Veda. You have pierced the target, the eyeball. So that is the way they understand. So this way slowly it is going. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says in the 11th chapter, Lord Krishna is emphasizing on the devotion. And you know that in the 11th chapter, Arjuna was with Krishna. But when the Krishna was telling, I taught the yoga to so and so, Arjuna told, how come? They are so senior. So hundreds and thousands years before they were there. And you are of my age. How could you teach them? Krishna told, me and you are again and again take birth. This is all the creation is going on. I remember everything. You don't. But we are all always there. Arjuna heard but didn't believe. Then ultimately Arjuna told, friend, can you please show me that naturally to have the complete faith. You are telling and I am also listening and I am trying to believe it. But if you can show that you are truly divine, can you please? That is called Vishwarupa Darshana. Arjuna saw that. Krishna gave him a divine eye. Because the Arjuna's mind was not that ready. Because the Lord Krishna used to love him, he gave that mind, the pure mind. Then he saw the Lord Krishna. And the 11th chapter, the eunuch, wonderful, the description of the huge form of the Lord Krishna. Afterwards, when the man like him, a hero, started trembling out of fear, oh Krishna, please take your normal form, it is terrible for me. Then he became normal again, and then he told, 11th chapter, 53rd verse, he said, Naham vedaina tapasa, na danena na cha ijjaya, shakka evam vidho drashtum, drishtavan api mam yatha. This is very important and it says, O Arjuna, my divine form that you have seen cannot be seen by reading Vedas or practicing penances, nor by doing charity or any. Then how one can see that divine form? Then Krishna is telling in the next verse of the Bhagavad Gita, 54 verse. I am quoting only the first line. Bhakta tu anannaya sakya aham evam vidho Arjuna. Bhakta tu anannaya shakya. The only through the devotion to me, a devotee can see me in this form. Because bhakti or devotion to God is the path and also the goal. The bhakti is the means and the end. Now I will conclude by mentioning that how Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is again making the grade. There is a Vaidhi Bhakti, Raga Bhakti and Urjita Bhakti. Raga Bhakti or Prema Bhakti. So Vaidhi Bhakti, because the Guru or the scripture said that you should get up in the morning, you should do this, take the name of God and this, we go on doing that. And not that too much of love is there, but still, since I promised to my Guru I should do, that's called Vaidhi Bhakti. We will discuss it in our next class again. Then it's called Raga Bhakti. Then when you are going on doing it, slowly you develop love, one type of attachment. And if you are not practicing meditation and the japa in the morning, you feel something, oh, I am missing today, but I could not take the name of God. Somehow before breakfast I should take the name of God, like that. The slowly you develop the love, and it's called Raga Bhakti or Prema Bhakti. And that is the beautiful, because the love is there. Ultimately, Urjita Bhakti. There you and the beloved are one. You cannot forget. No question of forgetting, no question of remembering. It is you only. So friends, thank you, and we will discuss about this in the next month. And thanks to the authority of the Hindu temple of Lemont, they gave that opportunity. And we will be discussing in our next month again Naradiya Bhakti Sutra. Is there any question?
Yes, ma'am. The first question is from Payal Datta. She is asking how to deal with negative thoughts.
Oh, Payal, this is a very good question. How to deal with the negative thoughts. But first you have to understand what are the negative thoughts. That means, suppose you like to go to God, you like to meditate on God, and then there are some thoughts which is disturbing your mind. That is always, that is normal, and you have to go on practicing. And if the negative thought means some other people are criticizing God and trying to put the idea that there is no God, etc., then you have to avoid those companies. So, and finally, you should have to have a perfect faith in the words of the Guru or on the scripture, where like the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he himself is telling, swearing in the name of the Mother, Mairi bolchi, Ishwar achen, dekha jay, kotha bola jay. That means swearing in the name of my Mother, there is God. You can talk to God. You can see God. Have faith. And all these negative things will go away. Thank you.
The second question is from Vishwaroop. He's saying, knowing Narada Muni stayed with only Bhakti, only the help of knowledge can one reach the goal. As Thakur said, one cannot reach the goal only with knowledge.
Not very clear, the question. Not very clear.
Narada Muni stayed only with Bhakti.
And the practice Bhakti, but the Narada was also Jnani. He knew who is this Vishnu. So that was also there. But anyway, as we can say in this way, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, and also Bhagavan Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said, that you can reach on the same path, the same goal by following the path of knowledge and also following the path of bhakti. So through the path of bhakti we go and become one with the God, and who is all pervading Vishnu. Through the following the path of knowledge, we go to all pervading consciousness, which is Brahman. Both are same.
Whereas Vishnu Ghosh is again saying this may not be relevant, but how are you, Maharaj?
Okay, thank you.
So, Sumana Kundu is asking how to deal with my angry nature and negative thoughts.
The Sumana, everybody is angry. You know that is natural. That is in our nature. But if you can note down why you are becoming angry, then you will find there are some causes which is not satisfied, and then you are angry. There's somebody didn't call you or invite you, you become angry. Something which you wanted to use, and somebody else took it, so you become angry. Like that only it happens. You wanted to have some position that somebody else took, you become angry. So there must be some object which you are not getting, and that is agitating you, and you are becoming. If you can list it down and can analyze, then you will see there will be no anger. Thank you.
Sima Viswas has a two-part question. The first is, I am not the body, what is meant by it? The second part is, how we recognize us?
Atman, we are the consciousness, we are the Atman, that is our true identity. The body, I am not the body in the sense, the body is changing. The body was a small one as a baby on the lap of the mother, then I grew up and it has become like this, and it will become the very old, dilapidated. So that body cannot be me, because I am continuously there. So when I was a baby, I was a baby. When I grew up a little as a young boy, I was a young boy. I am a young man. I am an old person. So like that, I is present in every situation, in every condition. By that way, we can say, I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am the soul. That is my identity.
Anindita has a two-part question. She is saying a spiritual aspirant proceeds towards the goal according to the attitude, in bracket Shanta Dasya. The attitude can also change over time. The second part is, can an ordinary person have more than one attributes and yet be sincere?
Attitude, that means the more than one, see, it is always there, but Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna says, take up one idea. Then Swamiji also says, take up one idea and then concentrate on that. Suppose I take up the idea that I am the son, I am the child of God, and God is my mother, and all through my life I practice that way, and it deepens in my practices, I feel. So if you have, I am the child of mother, at the same time I am mother and God is my child, how it will go? So naturally you can understand. So thank you for all these wonderful questions. Let us conclude by saying Shanti 3 times. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat.